Hello, everyone. How's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. Thank you for joining me live. I'm here to talk about immigration and about the things that are most important to you. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you leave me your question or comment in the box below. Today, the topic that I'm going to start off with is, did you start your marriage green card process with your spouse, but now your spouse wants to get a divorce? Did you start your case and it's already in progress, and maybe you even have you've had your fingerprinting appointment or you have your interview coming up, but now your spouse is saying that they don't want to continue anymore, they don't even want to be in the relationship, they want a divorce, or maybe your spouse has even separated from you and now you are stuck in a green card process. You are scared about what is going to happen to your future because you're already out of status, or you have given up everything that you already had in order to stay in the US and to be with your husband or to be with your wife, and now they're leaving you in the lurch. If this is happening to you, I want you to keep listening because you may already be feeling like you have no options or that you have no hope of getting your work permit or your green card, and you're probably afraid that you might end up in deportation. But before I go any further, my name is Moumita Rahman. I am an immigration lawyer. I have been an immigration lawyer for the past 11 years, and it is my pleasure to do the work that I do because I believe that immigrants make America great already and that we are the foundation of this country. And nobody should be nobody should be made to feel that though they don't have the right to exist in this country. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this very important topic about what happens if you have started your green card process with your spouse, but now they want a divorce or they are separated, or maybe they've even abandoned you and you are afraid of what is going to happen to you. So this is the thing. If you may have been suffering certain marital problems during the course of your marriage, you may have been putting up with a lot more than you really should have because of the fact that you were afraid that you might get deported or you might get in trouble if you stop the green card process. So if you have been suffering certain problems, such as your spouse is constantly yelling at you, constantly making you feel like you have no value, constantly threatening you with your immigration process, constantly making you feel afraid, or maybe even saying that they're going to cancel your green card application on you, then you may qualify for something called a self-petition underneath VAWA. VAWA stands for Violence Against Women's Act, but it is applicable to both men and women alike, and you do not need to have violence. There are two things that you can show in order to be eligible for VAWA, and this includes extreme cruelty, which is commonly known as, or commonly thought of as, emotional abuse, manipulation, control, using psychological harm, psychological fear, verbal abuse, these sort of things, or you can show battery, which is any sort of physical harm. Now, in a lot of cases, some people have just one and some people have both. But if you feel like you have been left in the lurch by your spouse, if you feel like they have been taking advantage of you, that they change all of a sudden after getting married, they start demanding money, they start demanding sex, they start demanding that you do things, they won't let you speak to other people, they won't let you send money back to your family back home, they won't let you out of the house sometimes, or they keep you afraid of constantly getting them upset, because if they get upset, you're afraid that they might cancel your application, please give me a call, 212-248-7907. I would love to explore to see if we can do this application for you. Now, a few common requirements that you should be aware of if you want to go down this road is this. Number one, you can still do this application even if you are living with your spouse. Now, we have certain protections in place so that your spouse does not find out about this, but if you are tired of living underneath this sort of control and you want to take your destiny into your own hands, you may still be able to do so, and you do not need to get divorced from your spouse. Also, next, you can still go ahead and get divorced from your spouse if you want. I am all about choice and I am all about freedom, and if you feel like you want to stay or if you feel like you need to get divorced, you may be able to do either, and we can definitely talk about all the consequences and all the options, of course. Next, you need to show that your marriage was entered into in good faith. This means that you cannot have a fake marriage. You cannot have paid your spouse to get married. However, if your spouse starts blackmailing you after you get married, that's a different story. And I want you to get these two confused, okay? But your marriage needs to be real. You need to have entered into the marriage for the purpose of having a life together, for the purpose of being, spouses together. Next, you also have to show that you have shared the same residence for any period of time during the course of the marriage. Now, some people can only manage to live together for a few weeks or a month or so, whatever it is. Some people end up living together for a decade or more. Whatever it is, I need to be able to show that you live together in the same place. This is a heavy statutory requirement underneath VAWA, and we can't really get around it. And we'll definitely talk about how to show evidence. Now, next, we have to show, of course, that you were suffering some sort of harm in your relationship, whether it's from extreme cruelty or physical battery, whatever it is. I will help you to show that. Now, something that a lot of people say to me is, Moumita, I really want to file for this, but I don't have any proof of how they treated me. I can't show this. What can I do? I don't think I can file. And what I would say to you is that, listen, the standard of evidence in a VAWA application is any credible evidence. Whatever you can give me, any credible evidence. Just don't make up anything. Don't give me fake stuff, but anything to help corroborate any part of your case is what I can use. And also, please keep in mind that the strongest piece of evidence is actually you. The words that you have, the experiences that you have gone through are what I use to help create your affidavit. So your testimony is the #1 piece of evidence that you can give. And we will definitely work with every single client on their case to make sure that their case is as strong as possible and to figure out what other evidence we can do. So again, I want you to know that if you have started your green card process with your spouse, and now they are saying that they don't want to continue anymore, that you have to give them something in order for them to continue, or they keep threatening to call immigration on you, they keep threatening to call police on you, they keep threatening to kick you out. These are not normal behaviors that you should be going through. And if you are going through these behaviors, I do want you to give me a call, 212-248-7907, so we can explore and evaluate whether you are eligible to file for VAWA and whether we can proceed, okay? All right, that's what I have to say about this topic, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions live. All right, Mr. Tusk, hello. Aliza Strokes is asking, what are the paperworks to mail or to send? Aliza, all instructions for any immigration application is actually online on the USCIS website, so you can look there. Mr. Tusk is asking, a friend refiled an adjustment of status after being previously denied and placed in immigration court. Will he still get a work permit again from Mr. Tusk? Mr. Tusk, if the case has been administratively closed, it depends on what application that the person is eligible to file for and whether they can still get a work permit even if the case is administratively closed. Singh is asking, hi, my VAWA was approved last week. I'm in removal and have asylum pending in court. My spouse is a USC. Any suggestion, please? Singh, congratulations on getting your VAWA approved. And you are in court, so it's a very stressful situation. But when you have an approved I-360, you can ask your attorney to help make a motion to terminate the proceedings or to reach out to the DHS counsel to ask for an exercise of prosecutorial discretion in order to dismiss the charges against you, because now you are pretty much prima facie eligible to do adjustment of status. Or if those two things don't work, if the court is not going to terminate and DHS does not agree to dismiss the proceedings against you, you can still go forward with adjustment of status in court, because the judge has jurisdiction and you can give your application in court and the judge can give you a hearing on your eligibility for a green card. So you still have hope either way. Okay. I have a question from Tony Million. Tony Ate, if your spouse filed for the green card I-130, how long will it take? She's a green card holder. For green card holders, if they file an I-130 for you, normally it's taking about a year to 2 years, even though the category is current. So if the category is current, then it can take less time. Is filing for VAWA expensive? From Melissa Mills. Melissa, thank you so much for this question. Now, everyone's financial circumstance is different. So some people can afford to pay certain legal fees and others cannot. But what I would ask you is, what is the expense of living a life underneath fear, living a life underneath stress, living a life where you are afraid and uncertain about the future and you feel like you can't escape your situation? There is no price to getting free from that. And for me, this is what VAWA offers to all clients. It's escape. It's a chance to begin life afresh, anew, and to have some power and control. And for me, there is no price that can be put on that. And look, of course, everyone has different financial situations. And legal fees are never really going to be cheap. And when you go with a quality lawyers will charge the prices that they're worth. And that's what I believe that that you should be thinking about instead, is what are you paying for really? And what is this case going to help you get and help you achieve in your life? Okay, Melissa? So if you want to talk, give us a call, 212-248-7907. Let's see. Hello to everyone. Happy Saturday. Good afternoon. Can you speak with me in Bengali from Arif Ahmed? Yes, I do speak Bengali, and if you do book an appointment to speak with me for your legal consultation, then we can definitely conduct that in Bengali. And also, I speak a little Spanish, and I've got my staff to interpret the entire time. So if you speak Spanish, if you speak English, if you speak Bengali, you can still give us a call, and we can still do an appointment with you. Okay. And I have another question from Minimov. Hi, ma'am, I need your help. I'm from Pakistan, but I need to talk to me. Minimo, you can book an appointment. You can message us. You can DM us on Instagram and send us a message, and we'll give you instructions on how to book an appointment, okay? All right, so let's see what other questions I have here on TikTok. Hello to my TikTok family. I hope you guys are doing well. I spend more than 6 months abroad on a green card. Does my time reset for my US citizenship? From Real Zishan Ali. Real Zishan and anyone else who's applying for citizenship. When you apply for citizenship, when you are outside the US for 6 months or more, you break the continuity of your residency. When you break the continuity of residency, then the burden is on you to show that you did not abandon your residency in the US or abandon your place of home here. So you can have proof, you can show it, it may restart, you can still go ahead and try to file, but the burden of proof is pretty heavy, okay? Can we still put an application on for DACA? From Tirsa Mav. Tirsa, unfortunately, what's going on right now is that for DACA applicants, because of a certain court ruling in Texas, in the federal courts, a judge has basically kind of declared that DACA cannot really take any new applications right now. So if you have a pending renewal, then your application will be accepted. New applications, even if they might get accepted into USCIS, they're not going to be deciding it right now. So you might want to hold off on that, okay, Tirsa? Let's see what other questions I have. Poor man in New York City. Hi, how are you? Do you think immigration is going to be included in the Build Back Better plan? And will it pass? From Romer Ona. So I do think that they are going to be trying to put in some provisions, and it's gonna, they're definitely trying very hard. So I do hope so, but I really don't know. I have DACA. Can I marry an illegal immigrant? From Angela. Angela, yes, you can marry anyone you want. You can marry anyone you want. Pretty much in almost every state, anyone is allowed to get married. I don't believe that immigration status is a barrier to getting married. However, if you have DACA, if you want to help your spouse, you won't be able to confer DACA or anything on them unless you yourself become eligible for something else. But get married, have your good life, and be in love and be a family. And hopefully there's going to be some changes in the future. What if someone who's been in jail for many years, is it harder to get their papers? Okay, from Feckerstein. Definitely, if you have been in jail for a couple of years, then that raises a presumption that the criminal conviction that you have, that you went to jail for, is probably something pretty serious. But just being in jail for 2 years by itself is not always, it's not always meaning that you're immediately not eligible for something. But get your papers together, get the conviction records together, get the certificate of disposition together so we can take a look, okay? 212-248-7907. Do you practice in Colorado? From NGDG. NGDG, I don't practice in Colorado. I'm based in New York, but I take immigration clients all over the US. I take immigration clients all over the US, even though I'm based in New York, because I am licensed to practice law and I am admitted to federal court. And when you practice immigration law, you don't need to be admitted to all the states. And fortunately for a lot of people, and for me as well, because it's my honor to do the work that I do, I'm able to help hundreds of people all across the US. So no matter what state that you are in, feel free to give us a call, because quality immigration representation is important for your life. 212-248-7907. Can I travel outside the US when my asylum case is pending? From Gary. Gary, I do not recommend that you leave the US. Is it hard to get a PIP grant approved? So a PIP is a military parole in place. I don't believe is too difficult to get approved. However, they do look at discretionary factors and for prior immigration violations. So for persons who want to do military parole in place, this is a question from Michelle Davila. Michelle, if there's any previous, if there's anything more than like one single illegal entry, then PIP is going to be very difficult. And if there's any criminal history, then it's going to be very difficult too. But give us a call, 212-248-7907. Can I apply for a U visa if my car got broken into? I don't believe that that's a qualifying crime for a U visa. But if you suffered some sort and Carlos, you had 4,000 stolen, 4,000, maybe, let's give us a call, okay? How long are the U visas from 2017? I believe they're taking about 5 years right now. What if you have been in America since 95 with no criminal record, graduated and paid taxes from Silver Fox? Silver Fox AZ, thank you so much for your question. Anyone else who's been here for a long period of time, you have a clean record, you have been doing everything right, and now you want to find out what your options are. The first thing I would say is, first of all, do you have any immediate relatives in immigration? An immediate relative in immigration is actually someone who's your spouse or your adult child or a parent. But for me, what I look at usually is if you're married to a citizen or to a resident, or you have adult U.S. citizen children, I look to see if you qualify for VAWA. If you don't qualify for VAWA, then I'll look to see if you might qualify for a T visa or a U visa or anything else. So give us a call, okay? 212-248-7907. Trending Capacito is asking, what book do I recommend? What an interesting question. I have not had a lot of time to read lately, but some of my favorite books include books by Hilary Mantel, because I'm a big fan of period pieces, especially like around the time of King, Elizabethan England. Let's see. I already filed my I-751 and 400. Can I still get a lawyer from J Mark? J Mark, yes, you can always get a lawyer. You can always get a lawyer no matter what process, what stage of the immigration case you're in. Even after you get denied, we definitely want to get a lawyer to find out what happened and to see if you can appeal. You can hire a lawyer anytime during your case. But of course, it's going to be the lawyer's decision whether they can hire, whether they can accept the case or whether it makes sense to accept the case depending on what stage you're in, okay? All right, my I-140 is approved mechanical. Will it be easier if I change my career to IT from Chandav? Chandav, mechanical engineering and IT are pretty different, and it's probably going to be an issue for you, but I don't do business immigration cases. I can definitely send you the name of an attorney who can, okay? What are the requirements for somebody in Mexico to get a tourist visa? From Jackie. Jackie and anyone else who's to do a tourist visa, usually these are discretionary visas, and you have to show that there's not a high chance that you're going to stay in the U.S. So usually they want to see that you have strong ties to your home country, and no prior immigration violations usually. Hi to Flight from Michigan. All right. Well, I have so many questions today, guys. I filed my case in December for status through marriage. Why is it taking so long? So processing times for immigration cases. This is a question that pretty much every immigration lawyer gets a lot, is why is my case taking so long? Why is my case taking so long? When am I going to have an interview? And what I can say about that is this. Processing times are going to be impacted by various things. And you should understand this, because if you have any immigration case in process, the time that you're going to have to wait is probably killing you already. And I say to all of my clients, have patience. Have patience. Also, we are still in a global pandemic with COVID-19, and officers, processing times, mail, everything is affected from start to finish, top to bottom. So things are they're just taking longer. Immigration takes a long time as it is. And with COVID-19, it's taking even longer. And also depends on where you filed. What did you file and where did you file? For example, a marriage green card case in New York City might take about 1.5 years, whereas if you're in a very small part, like a more rural part of the country where there's not a lot of immigration cases, you might end up getting your interview in like 4 or 5 months. So it is always going to depend on various things. If you filed last December and you're still waiting, it's still less than a year that you're waiting. So I would say that you're probably still within the normal processing range. Khalistan case of Punjabi's asylum still in effect from Ricky Singh. Ricky Singh, if anyone has an actual fear of returning to their home country and it's a legitimate, real fear, and there's proof of a fear of future persecution or a past persecution can be shown, then asylum is always on the table and it's always an option, okay? Is it possible to convert visitor visa to work permit for truck drivers? Only if you're eligible for a work visa process. Okay. Will it affect my citizenship process if I divorce my wife? We are separated from. This is from Del Torres. Del Torres, yes, it may affect your citizenship process. So here's the deal for anyone who has gotten their green card through marriage. If you got your green card through marriage and you are still married and you are still living with your U.S. citizen spouse, you are eligible to file for citizenship within 3 years. Or if you have, if you got your green card through VAWA, or if you got your 10-year green card through a waiver for extreme cruelty and battery on your I-751, then you can file for citizenship within 3 years. So if you choose this 3-year rule, and it was a joint application with your wife, where basically, I'm sorry, what I mean to say is that if you got your green card through your wife, Del Torres, and you chose the 3-year rule for the citizenship and you're now separated, then you no longer qualify to do the 3-year rule for citizenship and your case may get denied. But that doesn't mean that you can't apply again. You can withdraw your application also, and you can apply in 5 years, and that might be a better chance for you. And if you want to talk, give us a call, 212-248-7907. What are the fees for my initial consultation from Romerona? I think that's a name. My consultation fee is $150. $150 for a phone or video consultation. I do not do in-person consultations. Some people kind of insist on meeting me in person, but what I say to you is there's nothing that you can't tell me over the phone or in a face-to-face video that I need to hear from you in person. And I give every person the opportunity to send me documents. I can't review documents in depth. So if you give me like 500 pages, there's no way that I'm going to be able to cover that. That will require a separate agreement to review. However, I can preliminarily look at a few things and then we can speak either by the phone or through video. And that is perfectly enough for me to be able to determine what I can do for your case. Now, if you have booked, if you want to speak with me, you do have to book an appointment. I do not pick up the phone and I do not speak to anyone directly. And there's no such thing as a quick immigration question. It requires detailed analysis, okay? So please give me a call so I can evaluate your case and evaluate your options, 212-248-7907. Singh wants to know how much will I charge to terminate with the judge and adjust status with USCIS. Singh, give us a call so I can go over your case, okay? All right. Let's see what other questions I have. I had married from Rohan. I had married for 4 years and interviews. They denied my I-751 from Rohan. Rohan, I'm so sorry to hear that. If your I-751 has been denied, then you need to take immediate action. If your I-751 has been denied, you need to take immediate action to hire an attorney right away. A lot of times what happens when an I-751 is denied, and for anyone who doesn't know, the I-751 is to basically remove conditions on a 2-year green card to get a 10-year green card when you've gotten it through marriage. When your I-751 gets denied, there's a very high likelihood they may refer your case to immigration court. And if you end up in immigration court, then that means you are in removal proceedings, AKA deportation court, and you need to be represented and you need to have be attending all the hearings. But just because it's been denied does not mean that you can't file again. And a lot of the cases that I see that have been denied, they just were not prepared well. Also, clients are usually eligible for a waiver for extreme cruelty and battery. And most lawyers don't really look for this. They want to do it the different way. And give us a call and I'll take a look at your case, Rohan, 212-248-7907. Let's see if we can file it for you again, because one immediate benefit that you will get also when you refile your I-751 is that you'll get a new receipt that gives you proof of your status. You'll get a 2-year extension letter, even though your card is expired, and you can travel with this. You can basically show this for proof of your eligibility to travel and to work, and you'll be safe. Okay, so Rohan 212248797. Armin, hello, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. Hi, Jose, Ruben Isaac, how are you? Okay, let's see what else I have going on. I'm gonna just do one more question. All right. RNE is ideal when going live. Print and hang your office phone number and website in the background. That's a great idea. I will do that next time. Thanks, I didn't think about that. If I get a new lawyer for my case, will that affect my processing time? From Lorena Olvera. Lorena, all right. Getting a new lawyer is not going to affect your processing time. But what I tell to everyone is, what is the reason why you want a new lawyer? A lot of times people will want to get a new lawyer because they think that their case is taking too long or that their lawyer is not doing anything. And I take a look and I'm like, no, this is actually the normal wait time and it looks like your lawyer's done everything. However, when your lawyer does not want to pick up the phone or talk to you, does not want to give you the documents that you ask for, or you feel like they've been really rude to you, I think that's a bad sign. And I think that everyone is entitled to compassionate and considerate, representation. You've been in this country a long time. You're living with enough stress as it is. Everyone deserves a lawyer who respects them. And I do my best, me and my staff, my team, we are such a team. We are a team. Mi equipo, we really work together to make sure that we treat all clients with as much respect as possible, because we know it's a stressful process. And, I believe that, like I said, it's really our honor to be able to help as many people as we are helping. And we want to make sure that you feel good too, okay? All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. It's been a true pleasure. I hope to see you all again. Again, call 212-248-7907 if you want to book an appointment. I am based in New York, but I help clients all over the US, so don't let that be get in the way, okay? Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care.